Should I do more like this vibe, or should I pull it down like normal?
I don't know. It's up to you, babe.
I feel like this is very like couture.
No, I like it. Ask the people. What do you think Ali should wear? Should she wear like
Not that
this?
they can answer right now.
Okay.
Should I wear like this, or should I wear it like normal?
This wear normal.
I feel like I'm gonna wear like this just to like spice it up. You know, it's like, who is she?
Oh my god.
I do look like I'm wearing pajamas today.
It can work for both.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think it's in. I see people wearing
Pajamas.
wearing pajama-like clothing, but it has to be a set.
It has to be a set.
And it has to look like...
The bottom has to match the top, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also can't be like ugly pajamas. It has to be like kind of nice pajamas. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to this guy that we saw on our street. He was on his bike, and we were just moving, and we were putting stuff on our in the car, right?
We did a lot of like Goodwill runs.
Yeah. So I saw him down the street, and for some reason, like, cause I just sold my bike, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, thinking, wow, such nice weather today to just bike around, right? And then as he was passing by, he was like, "What's the juice?" And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." I mean, I didn't have time to.
And I was like, "Hey."
Yeah. So shout out to you if you're watching this.
Shout out to we kind of wish you stopped so we could like talk to you. You know,
Yeah.
we love whenever we get to meet anybody that listens to the pod.
That was fire.
Yeah. And if you ever see us anywhere, if you live in Seattle, or we'll be in Europe, so who knows who we're gonna see when we're there.
That would be crazy.
If you're from Amsterdam, I'll be in Amsterdam. You won't. I'll be there for a few days.
Yeah, I'm not going to Amsterdam.
If you are in Belgium, we might see you there. Romania, we'll see you there.
That'd be so crazy, actually.
I would love to meet people.
Like if we go to New York or LA and you see someone there that's like, I listen to WTJ, I'm like, how?
Yeah, I know, right?
Where did you find this?
Right? I kind of want to ask people, like, how did you get, like, did someone send it to you, or did you find it yourself, or were
I always feel like that's like, I never want to ask that question.
I know, but I'm
always curious, but I never ask. So where did you find us?
Yeah, it's so like it reminds
like,
me of when you when you like sign up, maybe not you, but if I sign up to like get my nails done somewhere or get some type of like my hair done, they usually, you're making your appointment online, and then there's a part where they say like, how did you hear about us? And it's like a drop down menu of like, from a friend, from a this, from a that. It's like helpful as a business to know like, how did people find you?
No, it is. And they also just want to know. When someone reaches out to me and they book me through my website, and I just see like a Squarespace submission, right?
Right.
And I always just wonder, how did you find this website?
Yeah, like did you Google like photographer Seattle vibes, or did you did someone send it to you? Yeah.
If you've never been to my website, it's yonikoto.com. Okay, go check it out. Let me know what you think.
And also, if you want to go to whatsthejuice.shop, we also have a website.
Yes.
But welcome back, everybody. Long time no see. This is the What's the Juice podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alia Zaitza.
And my name is Yoni Kodo, your favorite host.
Okay, no. We're not playing favorites.
We're not playing favorites.
I feel like most people like you better than me.
No, I feel like most people like you better.
Nah.
Really?
Nah.
No,
because I be saying some shit.
I mean, that's true, but that's what you want, you know? I feel like I was more like just red like you know? Like just red energy.
You want to be more like that?
I'm too mellow. Like I need to have some like...
I think we're a good balance.
Good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, when you mix red and blue, what color does that give you?
Purple. That's why I have a purple heart next to your name.
Nice. Well, you should change it to a blue heart because
I should change it to blue heart. That makes sense.
Anyways, in today's episode, we're talking about
the good life.
Just straight off the bat, what's a good life? Honestly, can I start?
Well, I think before we get specifically into what's a good life,
okay,
we wanted to give a little disclaimer, because I think what we're basically gonna be talking about, as the title says, what is a good life? A quote unquote good life. What does it look like? What does it mean? But
does that even exist?
Right. Is it even possible? But I think, and it's gonna be a little bit broad and a little bit, like imaginative in a way, but we all know that ever since, like, you know, growing up, we all kind of form this idea of what the ideal life looks like. And usually we have like people in our lives telling us that. We have the media and like movies and TV shows showing like what a good life looks like. So we all kind of have that same idea in a way. But at the same time, we know we never want to seem like we're talking for anybody but ourselves. So we kind of want to give a little disclaimer that whatever we're going to be talking about in this episode and we're going to be sharing our thoughts about, we just want to let you know that in no way are we speaking for anybody else than ourselves. We just love dissecting different subjects. So we know out there there's many people that have many different ideas of what a good life is. And that's the whole point of this topic, is to go through like the things that we think most people are thinking of when they're thinking about a good life, and whether or not we think that they're necessary to have a good life, you know?
Right, exactly.
So we just wanted to say that because we never want to make anybody feel like we're telling you what to do or whatever. It's not at all.
We also just never generalize, really.
Well, it's never our intention. Sometimes I think we might come off as that because also the whole point of this the whole point of this podcast is to like give our opinions, and sometimes it might seem like we're generalizing because it's impossible. It's really hard not to, because our opinion is a general opinion of like shit that we've experienced, things that we've observed, other people in our lives and their opinions. We take all of that and try to make sense of it all. And sometimes it might seem like we're generalizing because we can't offer every single perspective. We just can't. And that's also not why you're listening. I'm thinking you're probably listening for our opinions. So anyways.
Yeah.
So that said, what is a good life to you, Yon?
I think for me, a good life is as long as you're happy.
But what is happiness? Is happiness always actually smiling and laughing and all that?
No, happiness is, to me, okay? What happiness to me is that, like right now, I'm happy.
Why are you happy right now?
I'm happy because I had a big series of events happen to me in my life. Series of events. Okay, English teacher 101. And, you know, 2023 has really been good for me. Okay? Going to New York really re-inspired my, like, it sparked my creative photography juices. The podcast is going well. We've really been doing it back to back as we promised.
Yeah, we've been really grinding.
You know, I'm happy. Obviously, there's things that I always want to work on. But I'm still, like, content and happy, you know? But what it means to me, obviously,
I think we can, like, get more specifically into what a good life is to us when we go through each, like, point.
Yeah, because I feel like when I think about my life right now, I'm happy. And it can
like, you're
change.
living the good life.
Yeah,
or like
honestly,
right now. Because
like,
also, does the good life change?
The good life, I don't think it changes. What it means
to you.
Well, what it means to you depends on where you are. Maybe like it depends on, obviously we have to go to the points.
Right.
But I think like your career needs to be where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Your family life, your social life. There's so many different things that need to like line up, I feel like, to have, to be considered like, okay, you know what? I have a good life right now. Because if I had a good career, but then like my family life and I don't have any social life, I don't think I'm happy. Because it's like,
you don't think it's possible to be though?
If like, I don't have a social life and the only thing that's good for me is my career, I'm not happy.
Okay. I would say though that, you know, that's where everyone's definition of a good life varies. And that's why I think the same way that it varies from person to person, I also think it varies from moment in time to another moment in time. Of like right now, I have a certain idea of what a good life is. The same way that 10 years ago, I had a certain idea of what a good life is. But your idea of it can change over time based on more experience of life in general. Yeah. That's why a lot of like, I remember growing up, you know, my parents or like older people that were older than me, adults when I was younger, they would always kind of talk about how like there's certain things that you don't really understand until you get older.
Yes.
And I think that's very valid. Not necessarily like once you're an adult, let's say a full adult you're at when you're 20. Okay. But from 20 to 30, what I consider a good life at 20 can be very different than a good life at 30 and a good life at 40.
Oh, shit.
Oops.
Damn.
Sorry. So priorities change. And I think the definition and the idea of what a good life is also changes. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yes. So can we start going through the points?
Yeah.
Okay. I think if you want to start with relationships, how important are relationships to your life? Like if you didn't have any good wait, you mean like romantic relationship?
Yeah. So, okay. So let's go.
I think.
Let me start. When we get, like taught or whatever, and when we think of a good life, I think most people first and foremost think about money. To have a good life, you want to be financially stable and you want to just have enough money to have a good life, and I think majority of people, money drives a lot of our lives because at the end of the day, we spend most of our time working. We spend like 8 hours, if not more, every day or 5 days a week working. Most of the world kind of revolves around work. And
because you have to work.
Because you have to work to make money.
Yeah, everyone has bills, so I don't care how much you hate your job or maybe you don't know what you want to do in life. You have to make money somehow if you want to survive.
Exactly. So money is a big factor. Now, I think that with money, there's a spectrum. There's some people that don't give so much power to money in the sense like their biggest goals, like they're not necessarily they don't put happiness into valuable things, because we said a good life.
What?
So to have a good life, you want to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Some people think that they're not going to be happy until they have a big house. Or they're not going to be happy until, truly happy until they have, like, a really specific, fancy, expensive car. Or they're not going to be really happy until they have, like, so many, like, nice, fashionable clothes and, like, designer items and things like that.
That's so materialistic.
But I'm just saying there's some people that feel that way.
Yeah. So there's some people, basically, who put their happiness in shit that they have, like material
and
things.
it's shit that requires money.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily that they put all their happiness in that, but that's like a big factor.
Yeah.
For example,
like
I would say, go ahead.
No, I feel like those people specifically feel like they can, money can buy them happiness.
Yeah. And I would say to a degree, the money can buy you happiness. I wouldn't say it's so simple, but I would say that like in order to live a good life, because living a good life means not just one thing, you need to have some sort of financial stability to be able to not worry about certain things.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have money, the biggest thing you worry about is money. Period.
Yeah.
Because so much of our lives revolve around having access, and to have access in the world that we live in right now, it requires you to have a certain amount of money, depending on where you live, etc.
But I feel like there's also people who don't have, a lot of money, or maybe just they're just making it
like paycheck to paycheck, okay?
But they're very happy and content.
I'm not saying that's not possible.
Yeah, no, but I'm also saying like that is also, there's people who also are just happy with that.
That's totally valid.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your point.
No, that's okay. No, I think that is totally valid. Yeah. But I would say that
the more the better.
No, because I would also say the more money you make, like sometimes if you ask, for example, like millionaires and people who have like a lot of money, most of them are actually not that happy. And we know that. There's even been studies where it's like,
I don't know that.
People,
like, I wish I could talk to a millionaire and tell me, what are your problems? I honestly want to know. Is it like family problems, relationship problems?
Yeah. Think about how many problems revolve around, like, as soon as somebody gets a lot of money, family can start getting weird.
Who
because
changes?
you have money.
Do you think the person changes with the
No,
money or
it's
the family?
shit that they have to deal with because they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
They start to question every relationship they have. Are they friends with me just because I have money?
Yeah. You even have family members who, like, if you don't give them what they ask because you have 300 million,
Right.
and they ask you every week for 10K, and you're just like, I know I have 30 million, but I can't give you 10K every day.
And even if you can and you can afford it and your life doesn't even change, it's the concept of it too.
Right.
That it's like, am I just a bank to you or are we family?
Exactly. And that's now you're going to have family members. They're looking at you as the bank. Like, okay, you can save my life. And obviously you need to help people if you have that much money.
Right.
But you can't give your cousins $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 every week just because you can.
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, where it's like having a lot of money comes with its own things. But you have the luxury, in a sense, it's like you are never worried about money.
Yeah.
Compared to there's other people that their relationships and maybe all the other categories in their life are good, but they are constantly in a worry for money. And they're constantly like, even this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. But I would say even the people that live like the paycheck to paycheck, they wish that they could have a little bit extra saved up so they could maybe travel and do this and do that, which requires like saving up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, this is all very personal. So that's why I never want to make anybody feel some type of way when we're talking about this, especially money, because it can be very sensitive. But I would say personally for me, to have a good life, I am somebody that does put somewhat of a value in quote unquote nice things. And it's like for my lifestyle and the things that I really enjoy doing that bring me happiness, unfortunately, those things require money. Like I really enjoy going and eating out, and I enjoy having food experiences and going to restaurants and trying new things. But those things require money. That's just the reality. If I want to experience some fancy shit, I got to pay up, you know?
Yeah.
So similarly, we want to travel and we want to see the world and we want to like see all these places. We want to be able to go on vacation. And not that like some people don't care about traveling that much.
Oh, yeah. Some
You
people
know?
don't care about that. Some people don't care about clothes or eating out.
Yeah,
They just care about...
You know who? Exactly. The perfect example for that is my father.
Yeah.
My father does not care. Hey, Dad, you're not listening to this. But my father does not care about anything that's like specifically nice. It's like he doesn't care about nice clothes. He doesn't care about like nice house decor.
A nice couch to sit on.
Exactly. Like little decorations and things. He doesn't care for things to look aesthetically. Like he doesn't care about materialistic things at all. He's like, I want money to pay off my house. As long as I have a house, as long as I have a car, like everything is very utilitarian for him, and that's what he wants to have money for.
Okay, which is fine.
Which is totally fine, and that brings him happiness. He's happy once he's able to pay off the house and all that. Versus my mom, who she's not as like she's very different in that way. Where it's like she cares about nice clothes, she cares about experiences and like going out to eat and having that. So they have slightly different ideas of what a good life is. Mm-hmm. You know. And
I wonder how like my parents are. I know my mom she also likes nice things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nice things around the house or nice clothes, stuff like that. And I think my dad, he also cares about nice things around the house, I think. Yeah. But I just don't know like how much. But
what about us though? Like, would you say you don't care as much as me about like the food thing to like try and go?
I just tag along with you.
Right.
So luckily, you know, she does all the research about all the food stuff.
I mean more about the concept of like spending a lot of money on food experiences.
Oh yeah, I was never like that before I met you. Never.
Like, how would you feel about, for example, for my birthday, Brenda and I went to get omakase, which is usually like pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And it was basically with tip and everything, and got close to like $200 per person.
Yeah.
For one meal. I don't do that all. That's the first time I've ever done that. It's like the most expensive meal I've ever had.
I would see that right there. I would never do that.
Even for your birthday or our anniversary.
No, I'll do that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but that's not the only thing I do, because then I do other things.
Yeah, but the reason why I don't do that, because usually places who are that expensive and the food is like just it's so little. First of all, like the plate can be this big, and I'm a person who, you know, I'm 6'4", I weigh 190 pounds. Little cute shit like what did we eat the other day? Scallions. Oysters, right? I hate oysters. I will never eat that shit again. That was my first time I ever tried it.
It's not that you hate how it tastes. You just don't understand like the hype.
I don't understand the hype, and also I think it's just expensive for no reason. Like you go like this. I can
agree with that.
You go like this, and it's gone.
I can agree with that.
And I don't understand why it's so expensive. Yeah, maybe the fish is expensive.
No, the actual, like, they are just expensive themselves.
Okay.
You know, the same way that you go to a steakhouse, steaks are expensive because the meat itself is expensive.
Yeah, see, that's different, because the steak, you can feel it.
You can chew it.
You can chew, you can take your time. You can have a nice red wine with that. But, like, any of those little fancy little seafoods things that are so expensive, I would never eat that shit again.
Yeah. Well... Just a disclaimer though, omakase, I was hella full after, and you would have been just fine, because it's sushi and it comes with rice and it's all that. So, but yeah. And it's an experience. As I said, it's an experience. I don't ever spend all of that on that. But also, it's like some people really value having like nice clothes and like having a designer bag or like a higher quality shoe or like a $500 boot or something. But when like for example, even though they were on sale, I bought a $500 pair of boots that I will probably have for like 5 years, like for a while. And they're really high quality. They're really nice. I wouldn't necessarily consider them designer because they're not like a known designer, but I think I said it to my mom, and my dad overheard it, and he's like, you spent $500 on a pair of shoes? And I'm like, it's just different priorities. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I don't like expensive clothes. I don't.
Okay.
I only have one shoe, the Yeezy boot season 3 that came out.
At the time.
That was the most expensive thing I ever just bought to like wear. You know what I mean? And then as I bought that, I knew that I would never buy something like this again.
Okay, but what about now? Because I would say, aren't you in the search for like...
Well, yeah, I'm looking for a specific shoe, but even that I don't.
What about your sunglasses?
Okay, so there's a couple things.
Not me, like you buy expensive shit.
No. I just want to say something, right? If you can, I don't think anyone should ever make anyone else feel bad.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
That they bought something that was expensive. No, because you know those people, they're like...
Yeah, like my dad.
Why would you buy sunglasses that are $400 when there's these people in the world? And I understand.
I think that argument is always like...
No, but there's always someone who's going to be like... But like, if you can and you work hard for it, and everybody can work hard to be able to buy something that they want, and you deserve that.
Yeah, I mean...
You know? And that's...
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's so like circumstantial for all this.
Okay, so the only things that I would ever overpay for, let's just get that out of the way, right?
Okay.
I really got into sunglasses, right? So it's sunglasses and shoes. That's it. Not even really shoes. It was just that one pair that I wanted.
Yeah, but see, you would never be a person that like you would buy a plain white t-shirt that's like $300 for no reason. Just because it's like Louis Vuitton.
No, never.
Or like Balenciaga.
Yeah, like I don't care about expensive pants, shoes.
What about jewelry?
Or...
Honestly, nah. Jewelry, you can always find that shit.
I think honestly, jewelry would be the only, like accessories. Those would be the only thing that I would be down to like overpay for. Sunglasses, maybe like rings or whatever. But like clothes, I will thrift everything.
You already do.
Yeah, like yesterday I bought a t-shirt that was $17.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying I love those things.
No, I hear you.
I would just hate to wear a t-shirt that's like $500, pants that are like this. You're doing too much. That's like, I'm sorry. That's just me.
Not you judging people.
No, that's just me personally.
No, I hear you. And that's why it's very personal.
Yeah, like we all have those things that we are okay to overpay for, and that's fine.
I agree. So we covered the money thing.
Yeah.
Very personal to everybody.
I wonder what people are going to say in the comments, because I feel like everyone has such a different idea about
Everybody
that.
has a different idea of what a good life is. That's exactly the point.
Yeah. Some people would not want to spend any extra money on anything they wear, but their house would be like crazy.
Exactly. Oh
Or
yeah.
their
Like
car.
don't you see all those like millionaires like Mark, is that his name? Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Or like all those people, it's like everybody says those tech millionaires or billionaires, I should say, you don't ever see a Gucci belt in sight.
No.
But you better believe
their house
they have a private jet. They have all those other things.
Exactly. And that makes sense for them.
Exactly.
Some people want to have an expensive car and I don't know, regular house. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
Like, for example, I don't care about my car at all. I could literally drive a 2005, like, whatever. I don't care. I'd much rather have nice clothes and a nice apartment.
See, me, I would like to have a nice car and obviously a nice house too.
But I feel like you don't care as much about a house.
Honestly, I would put the house before the car.
You spend way more time in your house than your car. I just feel
exactly.
like logic. Okay, so we covered money. I think the next thing that everybody always thinks about, good life, you got to have, everybody wants to be in a relationship. Like, to have a good life, you want to have that life partner.
Not everyone. Some
Okay,
people
I'm talking about it more in just like, that's how we're all educated and raised
That's
to
true.
believe that
Yes.
in life, like a big goal that you're raised with is like being in a relationship, having a life partner, you know?
Yeah, I was just talking for those who are just, a good life for me is being single and spending all this money
On me.
on me. No kids, just me.
Yeah.
And when
totally
I'm
fair.
gone, I'm gone.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But I would say for me personally, clearly I am married. But I would say just from like, even though I haven't been single as an adult because we met when we were 19, you know, I mean, I was an adult, but you know,
Yeah.
I've been like in a relationship for a long time, and I would say that life for me, that like our relationship has always been the one thing that is for like, it's a sure thing.
Oh yeah, we always say that.
You know, it's like
if I don't know anything, I know that you're here.
Yeah, and that I got you and you got me.
Yeah.
And so much like life is just better because we're together for me. You know what I mean? It's like I just feel like as long as we're good, life is good. I'm living that good life if we're good. You know what I mean? Because no matter what we're going through, what's happening, we're here.
Yeah.
So because of my own experience of like how a relationship can enrich my life and how much happiness it can bring me, a relationship, if that is for you and if that's something that you're looking for, I can understand how, like I have lived through how that just makes your life better.
Yeah. A relationship to me, I always say that I'm the happiest I've ever been because I am in a committed relationship. When I was single, I wasn't really happy because I always wanted to be in a relationship. I always knew that I have so much love to give to someone out there in the world. I don't know where she's at, but I like when I'm going to love someone, I'm going to love them for real. And I always just knew that.
And you do.
Yeah, and I do. So, and I never even had like a lot of girlfriends or a lot of relationships. Like I was just kind of like focused on whatever I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Which majority of my life, it was just basketball. And I would just know that I would find the right person somehow, whenever, you know?
Yeah.
And once I did, I was like, okay, I'm going to love this person with everything that I have, you know? And I have a lot of it. And I always waited. Even before I knew you, I just knew that I'm a very like a family
Oriented person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really loved the single life, chasing girls or trying to like talk to this girl, but then it didn't work out. I never even liked talking to multiple girls. It was just never my thing.
Yeah.
You know, I just always wanted to have that one person I come home to, and we're just building from the ground up, and we just
have a partnership. Because I would say, you know, as we're talking about this, what comes to mind as like a person that is the opposite of that is actually a fictional character, and it's Samantha Jones from Sex and the City. You've watched it, but you haven't like watched it to really know. But
who's Samantha?
Samantha is basically like from the 4 girls. If you've watched Sex and the City, you know. But she was basically like the friend in the group that was never in a relationship. Like she just doesn't do relationships. But she was also always like in touch with her sexuality, and she was always there's like the door slamming. She was always like having a lot of sex with a lot of men, and she was very like sexually empowered, and she was just kind of like living that single life, and that was like her shit. She just never wanted a relationship. She didn't like being in a relationship. Because being in a relationship is sharing your life, but sharing so much of it. And some people just don't want to. Some people are like, I don't want to share my space with anybody. I've heard many people, like when, let's say they're in a relationship or they're seeing someone, or maybe they're not, but I just ask them like, would you ever live with somebody? Would you ever like share your space with somebody? And some people would just really want to have their own space, or they would be in an apartment that has 2 rooms. So they would like have 2 separate rooms. Like,
damn.
Yeah, so that people can have their own space. And being in a more traditional relationship that I would say we, to a certain degree, apart from like how we got married and everything, I would say we share everything that there is to share in life, and we really are like in a partnership.
Yeah. We're also just business partners too.
Exactly. Some people, that's just not for them.
Yeah.
And Samantha, I would say, is like a perfect example of that. Obviously, if you watch it, you can understand more of like my reference. But there was a time where she actually did end up being in a relationship at the end of the show into the movies, and everybody was really surprised that she was in a relationship, and it was a relationship that went on for like years.
Was that a thing?
It was a thing for her because she was always the one that was not doing relationships.
No, but was it a thing for the viewers?
Oh, I mean, I guess, yeah. But at the end of the series, like at the end of, I think it was like the 2nd movie, she ended up breaking up with the guy after like 5 years of being in a committed monogamous relationship. Damn. Because she was she said, I love you, but I love me more.
Oof, that hits different.
Because she was like, I don't want to have to wait around for you to be happy. I don't want to have to wait around for you to like come home, or like depend so much of my happiness on this.
Yes. Or like if you're like in a bad mood,
it affects me.
I don't want, like, why is that affecting my day?
Yeah. But if you're in a relationship, it does.
It does.
And I can totally like, I think that's like the only time I've ever seen and kind of really understood that perspective of someone who's like, I don't need a relationship to be happy and to have that good life. And I totally get it. And it's totally valid.
Yeah. Damn, that's so interesting. So that would lead into people just also not having kids then.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of couples who, and let's say they have a lot of money. They're like, whenever we're done with this life, we had the best possible life with no interruptions. We have each other.
And no added responsibility.
No added responsibility, no kids, no losing sleep at night, no having to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, that could be an amazing life. But to someone who does want a family, to me, sharing life and sharing what you have with a kid that you made with your partner, I think, or even some people even just adopt kids, you know,
right.
Like, so I'm just saying, I think that sharing is the beauty of life for me.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you.
I don't want to be out here just living, because I can have everything I want, but then if I don't have anybody to share that with, it's kind of lonely also.
Yeah, but
you know?
Then that's where you have, that's where you have friends.
Yeah, that's when you have friends. That's true. That's true.
And I would say...
But yeah, your friends don't come home with you.
But some people don't want anybody to come home with.
Really?
Yeah, some people are good that way.
Damn, I feel like if I come home, I can have a blast outside, right, with all my friends. And everybody goes home to their partners, to their wives, husbands, whatever. And then I come home to just like an empty home.
But you can
I would
look
feel
at it.
so lonely. I would just be
But
like,
you were just with people.
yeah, I know. But I come home and nobody actually cares for me. Nobody's going to check and say, hey, did you eat today? Or like nobody, like those friends love you, but they're not there when.
I just think it's so, again, not to like keep going back to that, but I just think it's like still so personal.
Yeah.
Because I know actually not a few, but I know like I have a family member and they like never got married. I think they're in their 50s now. Or maybe 60s, I don't know. But they just never really they were never in a relationship. Like ever since I've been on this earth and I can remember life, this person in my family, they just never had a relationship or a partner.
By choice?
I've always been too little to talk about it. And like, I haven't seen them in a long time. But, you know.
It's just personally for me, I feel like I would be lonely.
No, I get it.
You know, if I come home and there's nobody.
That's because you are a relationship person.
Exactly.
And similarly, I would say like I grew up with the concept of, you know, having a lot of friends and knowing a lot of people can bring a lot of happiness to your life. But I would say now I've learned that I would always take like one friend that's like really, really good and like a close ass friend over like knowing hella people, but they don't really care that much about me and I don't really care that much about them. I just know them and like they're cool and we'll hang out, we'll have a great time, but we don't have that deeper.
It's like an empty relationship.
No, because I feel like you don't have to make it seem as if it's not good, because there's plenty of people like that we both have in our lives that, not that I don't care about them or give a shit about them, but I'm also just not close with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I would say I'm a person that I'm good. I don't need to have like hella close friends. I also think friendships kind of just happen when they happen naturally. But for me, I would always just take quality over quantity, you know?
Yeah.
Always.
I get it. That makes sense. Next point. I think, wait, are we good with the friends?
I don't know. I mean, you didn't say anything about them.
No. Oh, so wait, I feel like we talked about that already, no?
Friendships?
Yeah. Like, what did I say about that? I mean, I feel like I gave... Oh.
I mean, if you don't have anything to say...
No, ask me questions. I feel like for some reason, I don't... Like, ask me something.
What do you want me to ask you?
Well,
no, it's just like...
if they matter...
It's like, yeah, do friendships matter to have a good life? Do you need to have a lot of friends or like...
Yeah. I will take a group of friends over just kind of like what you said, you know, like I'll take one friend over having, you know, a lot of different people that I just kind of know. But I also think that having friends is very important to have outside of the relationships that you have, that you have with your person, like with your partner at home.
Okay.
You know, you can... I always think you should have another best friend other than me, like another best friend. Some people think you're my everything. You know, you're my best friend, you're my wife, you're my partner, you're my good friend. But
which like you are to me.
But I feel like you should have someone else as well. So if you want to take a break from your relationship, which is fine. Not a break from the relationship, but a break from your partner.
Yeah, like you just want to go do some other shit with someone else.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have that. And I feel like that, if I don't have it, I feel like I'll definitely miss something in my life.
Yeah, no,
like I don't have friends.
Yeah.
That would not be fun.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And as a kid, I remember just growing up and I always felt like I needed a lot of friends.
Exactly.
I always wanted to have the most friends I can have.
I wanted everyone to like me.
Yo, anybody that I would talk to, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's my friend Jamie. I talked to one person one day, just have one good conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a new friend.
Yeah. People, and I know.
And I thought that's what made you cool. I thought that's what made you like, that's Yoni has so many friends.
And you know what I was just going to say?
What?
Is that I actually think that there's some adults that take that with them from childhood later on in life. And they still keep that as like a high value for them, of like they really care about knowing hella people. And I have seen some people put a lot of value in just like being that person that has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You know,
But
they
maybe-
love to
maybe
they love
they've-
to show other people that are like, oh yeah, I know everybody here, I know everybody in the industry, I know everybody, like, oh yeah, they're my friend, whatever. They love to like seem as if everybody likes them. I've seen that many times.
But everybody
in adults.
knows. But everybody knows that not all those friends are like real friends. Like, how many of those friends can you FaceTime right now?
No, I'm not. Oh,
No, I'm not you.
like, that's not me.
Like, why are you coming at me?
You know I don't FaceTime. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, aside from all those things, we also have a big one, a big factor that I think actually goes after money. I think a lot of people think about money as like a big factor in having a good life. But after that, having a good job, having a good career, we all grow up. That's like one of the first questions anybody asks us. It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're taught to put so much value into like the path that we take with what we're going to end up doing with our life.
Yeah. Growing up, I wanted to be an actor.
Really?
When I was a
that
kid.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor. And it's because people told me that I should be an actor.
So what happened?
Well, then I started to get taller and taller and taller.
And they were like, nah, be a basketball player.
Nah, be a basketball player.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be a dancer because I started so young. So that was always my thing.
Yeah. But I wanted to say about having a good career, right? Like, what does that even mean? Because someone can be a barista, work 7 days a week, 5 days a week. They pay their rent. After work, they don't have to worry about anything. They
Yeah.
don't have to worry about anything at all.
That has to do with work.
Yeah, that has to do with work. They just go hang out with friends. They come back the next day. They make coffee right after. That's a good life.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to get into this topic thinking like the more money you make, the better your life is. Because I don't think that's necessarily
True.
true. Obviously, the more money you have, you can
Get more shit.
you
And we
can-
already talked
you
about the
can-
money thing.
Yeah, you can get more stuff, or you can travel more, or you can just help people. To me, that helps me out. Like, just if I can help someone and make someone's day,
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Yeah, if I can help my parents like pay the house.
You know how like I always said this, like I would love to like just like one day buy my mom a car. There's like a few specific cars that we kind of talked about. If one day I can just like,
Oh, actually, same. My mom really
Yeah.
wants this. What does she want? I forget already.
yeah, well,
BMW.
yeah, and that's gonna bring me so much joy. Like I would buy her a car before I buy myself a car. Like if I have that amount of money to just buy a car and just pay it off and just
Yeah.
give her the keys, I'm good.
Yeah.
Even just like buying a house, something like that.
So career though, right?
Yeah. So with career, I think it all depends. What are you okay with?
Yeah.
You
And what like you put value in, like happiness, where do you get it from? Because I would say there are some people that it's like they just never really found that thing. They never really found that thing that they're passionate about. They also never really found like nothing maybe academically stuck to them when they were in school. They were like, I don't really like any of this shit. And they kind of felt lost. So maybe like in terms of just jobs, they never really got into a specific field. They never were really interested in a specific field. So their career, it didn't really form into anything. So they've just kind of had, jobs.
yeah.
But then and maybe they don't even have they've never had an aspiration to have a career, because to have a career, it's also a big time investment, an emotional investment,
Yeah.
and sacrificing time and sacrificing money if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to sometimes do a specialized thing in something, you got to spend money to get certified in that, to do that.
What?
So, but you have to want that. And then you
Yeah.
put value in that success and into whatever goal you have of I want to open my own business and have employees in the tech industry or something, or in the beauty industry, whatever. And your work and the work that you end up doing brings you happiness.
Yeah.
Like the work that we do brings me a lot of happiness. I if I didn't have the work and the amount of work, and if I wasn't passionate about it, it wouldn't bring me happiness, and I probably wouldn't do it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And wouldn't like carry through that. But there's other people that it's like they've never really found anything like that, so they don't put value in it.
Yeah, you're never gonna do a good job at something you don't like.
Honestly,
I'm never gonna care enough. Like in school, when I would get a book to read and write an essay about it afterwards, I never did amazing at those things.
Right.
Because I never cared about the book in the first place.
So you know what's interesting about that? I know many people, and I've heard many stories about like people that are really good at something, but they don't really like it that much.
Okay, that's a luxury.
Like think about Jokic.
Yeah.
He seems like he doesn't even like playing basketball.
I know, right?
He doesn't. He's like, yeah, it's just a job.
I know. It really seems like he just shows
and
up.
I feel like I've also heard of like there's other dancers that I've witnessed their careers and stuff that they really are like, I'm just good at this shit, but there's a lot about this that I really don't like. Like I don't love my job. It just so happens that I'm actually really good at it.
Imagine being really good at tennis, right? You're like top ranked and you really have a future, but you actually don't even like it. But you're just really, really, really good, and you can be a professional and you can make millions of dollars, but you don't like it. You just kind of do it. And you're really like, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Do you just have a whole career and not liking it, but you're really like people look at you and like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I would keep that career for sure.
Yeah. But then I would say there's also the other side of the coin where, because not all careers make you a lot of money. So just because you have a career that's like, that you really like, doesn't mean that you have a lot of money. It doesn't go hand in hand. There's many careers that people really enjoy. Like someone might really strive to, and unfortunately they're usually in the arts. But if you want to be like a musician, I was striving to be a dancer. Being a dancer is not somewhere where people see dollar signs. Most of the time, you're a struggling dancer your whole life. And especially because your career ends when you're 40. So good luck to you. Sorry about the sirens.
Damn, this shit
It's like right there.
Yeah. I want to say with photography, right? I never got into photography because I want to make a lot of money. Like I never even thought about that. And also, you don't even make a lot of money unless you're like somebody and you have a name. You know, most photographers don't even, make that much. But I got into it because I just love doing it. And when you care about something and you love doing it, when you do it so much and for years, eventually you might be able to put something out that's like worth something, but like, if you get into photography and you think I want to get into this because I want to make a lot of money, you probably won't make a lot of money,
right?
Because you got into it for the wrong reason, anyways.
Yeah.
But what I said earlier about I would keep the career that I'm good at, even though I hate it, and I know that I jokingly said that I will keep that career.
Yeah.
But I would rather do something that I really love and am passionate about and make less money than doing something that I hate.
Yeah, but sometimes there's no like other option, because there's people people I know in my life that are like, I don't really know what I like. I don't really like in terms of career things, there's nothing that really stuck to them. So then the alternative to that is I'm just gonna find the best possible option, and hopefully I don't hate my job that much. But then is a job, period, to them, versus like to me and to us, like the things that we do is like we get a lot of happiness out of the work that we do.
Yeah.
So to me, this doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, but it's different than when you just like clock in and clock out. You go on Slack, you say good morning to everybody, and then you leave.
As if people know what Slack is.
People know what Slack is. So yeah, I think there's like many paths you can go in your career.
Yeah.
And some people put more value into it to make themselves happy. Like I would say us, you know, career for us has always been like very important, and it's brought us a lot of, here goes the siren again.
Some shit is going down today.
Yeah. But for other people, they could care less about a career. They just want to have enough time and life. Yo, there's some shit happening like right here.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys get the point. All right.
Are we good?
Is there anything else?
No.
Well, I think just one last thing is just family. And I would say that, you know, we're all dealt the family that we're dealt and the family that we're born into.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of different and very interesting characters. Just because someone is older and she's your auntie or aunt. And this is something I learned the older I got.
Damn, some shit is going on.
I kind of want to see what it is.
Can you see something? Okay, sorry guys. We just there was a lot going on there.
Yo, when you hear the cops talk through the mic, that's when it's bad.
I mean, I would say we are living right. Our apartment is close to a fire station and the police precinct, so we are just like right here.
Yeah.
But you were saying about family?
Yeah. So the older I got, I realized that, you know, everyone is like us basically. They're just older, right? They're just older. So just because someone that's older than you says something doesn't always mean that they're right.
Right.
Which a lot of people like to act as if that is the case.
Yeah, and I would say that tradition pays a lot. Not tradition, sorry. Culture.
Right.
Plays a lot of that.
And as a kid, I used to always think that just because you're older, that I need to listen to you, or I need to... I
mean, I feel like as a kid, you should do that.
As a kid, you should. But once you're an adult yourself, it's like you can also just say like, I don't agree with that and I don't want to do the thing that you're telling me that I should be doing. What? You spilled a lot of...
Sorry, I just spilled a hell of water on myself.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, I agree.
You know, but one thing that I always remained with me is that I was always just respectful. Like even now, like I respect like my elders. Like someone is older than me, I could never say something disrespectful or call them out of their name, you know, or like cuss them out, something like that. That's just not something that I do.
But I would say that you know what?
I just want to say that I don't want to. I never like to say like bad words around like older people. It doesn't come natural. I can't do that. When I see people do it, I'm like, how can you even talk to this person this way?
Right.
That's just personally for me.
I mean, I would say that's also culturally, because I would say like my family is a little bit just the way we were raised. It's like things are a little bit more lenient in that way. Not that we like swear at our like grandparents and shit, but it's not a big deal to like swear around them, or like it's not a crazy thing. But to relate it back to a good life, because that's the whole point of talking about family.
Okay, it's fine. I just wanted to. It's okay to like, you know,
get off topic.
Yeah.
No, but I just want to say like the whole point of why I think family life plays a big part in having a good life is that some people are born into a family that is kind of fucked up. There's a lot of like family relations that can be wrong, you know, parents being divorced, and like that can affect the kids, and like maybe the parents themselves are really like not nice to each other, and maybe like the parents treated the kids really badly, or maybe there's some type of situation in the family, maybe like someone is not speaking to someone else and there's like family drama, and that can affect like your well-being, especially if you're a family-oriented person, if you really care about that. But at the end of the day, I also think that, you know, we always grow up thinking that like family is really important, which I think it is. But I also think that we have the power to build another family and to choose our own community and to make friends and to meet people and get to know people and create bonds that could be close to like a family bond and a sibling bond and a, you know, like you can have a mentor, you can like meet someone that is much older than you, that's like wise and's been through life or whatever, and like create a relationship that maybe resembles like a parent to child relationship. I just think that we can also build those relationships outside of family, especially if your family life is not like bringing you happiness because of drama or situations, you know?
Yeah, that's very unfortunate when that happens in families, when there's just like they're not okay with each other, or I hate all that stuff. Like I never want that.
Yeah, but
know?
sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with you, and it's like people being stubborn around you, and it makes hanging out with those people and like you're born into family, it's like a thing that doesn't even bring you happiness. Family should be a thing that brings you happiness, but for some people it's not the case.
Yeah, that is,
know?
I mean, that's very true.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. There's nothing even I can, like, just because we're blood related doesn't mean, you know how many stories, and luckily, you know, I'm like good with, you know, like most of my family, I don't have any like crazy fucked up shit like that, you know, but I've heard a lot of crazy stories that even with their own mom, like I met someone before, they would be like, you know, my mom is crazy, like she did all this stuff, or like my dad did all this shit. I'm just like, and they were like, I don't talk to them, I never want to talk to them again. And I understand,
Yeah.
you know, because also at the end of the day, just because someone is your parent, it doesn't make them, I remember growing up always thinking like parents are superheroes.
Yeah.
They never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They just know everything, you know.
They don't.
Yeah, you know, shout out to everyone who's keeping their family tight, and even if it's not like blood related, at least have some sort of like community and a group of people that you can call family, like even if it's like your friends or whoever like that.
Yeah, totally.
It's very important.
I totally agree with that. And I feel like don't pressure yourself if your relationships with maybe like your siblings or something are not like as close as we believe they should be.
Yeah.
Like just, I think it's important to just accept how those relationships are and look for, if you want that kind of sibling relationship, it's okay to create that with friends,
yes,
and not have that with your actual siblings.
Right. But you can also just work on it and have a real talk with your siblings. Say, hey.
That's true, but you can't force relationships even in those that are in your family.
Okay, but I feel like you should at least give it one try and say, hey, I know we're not close, and because I want to be close. You know, you want to be close. Luckily, you know, I'm like really close with my sister.
Right.
And sometimes we go times where we don't talk to each other, but then sometimes like we talk every day. Right. You know, but we always kind of been like really, really close. But let's say we weren't, I would talk to her and say, hey, I like, let's catch up. What's going on?
Yeah. But I would say it's not, I would say like the older you get, there's some relationships that they're just not going to change. Like they are what they are.
That's true.
Because you're not, it's not like something, I'm not talking about if something happened that impacted your relationship. It's just you grew up and you're just not that close.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally get that.
Yeah. So to conclude, life is what you make it.
Exactly. Life really is what you make it, though.
Yeah.
If you want to be happy,
wherever your happiness comes from.
Yeah.
In all those things we just talked about, and there's probably many other things we just didn't touch on.
And also, you have to be okay with not being fully happy, 100% happy. Because early in the episode, I said I'm happy, but it's not like at 100%.
Yeah, and I think also happiness,
because there's like these things that I gotta call this person over there. I gotta call, and then, you know what's funny with me, with my life not being 100% happy, I know exactly what I gotta do to make it 100.
Really?
Yeah. And to me, the only thing that's like not 100% is like small little like family things that I gotta like tweak and fix.
Okay.
That's it. Once I do that, honestly
kind of same.
I'm 100% happy. It's just relationship stuff that I gotta like fix.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I'm healthy. I'm in a good relationship. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you need to call someone, and I'm speaking for myself, just do it.
Or if you just know that your ideal good life is and looks a certain way, and you can identify what that is, and you can identify that this is what I want my life to look like. Life is what you make it. You have the power.
Yeah, you have the power to change.
And yeah, everybody has different access. Everybody has different opportunities. Everybody has different stability and support from family, etc. Of course, now there's a garbage truck outside. So
it's crazy.
But I still think that like we have way more power than we give ourselves credit for. And if you're listening to this, life is what you make it. So go out there and make it.
Wow, that was good. I like that.
Good. Thank you very much.
So give us like a word to put at the end. Oh, actually, here, let's just ask another question, okay? This week, I feel like
questions are the thing now,
better.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. What do you consider a good life?
Yeah, give us like a good sentence,
Yeah.
or 2 sentences. Not
Yes.
don't make it a whole.
Don't make it a whole thing, like a paragraph, but just say like, what are the things that you value the most in your life?
Yeah. Because I would also say, like, again, everybody has different.
Yeah.
And also it fluctuates depending on what you can do.
Yeah.
But I also think it's good to reflect sometimes of what you have, because we can always have more of everything. So it's good to like reflect and just be like, actually, like I'm good right now.
Good, yeah.
That's
very important. I wish I brought that up earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Like we have to be thankful of what we actually have, because you can always just have more.
Yeah.
You can always have a bigger house, but
But I think it's important, because more oftentimes than not, like you might already be living the life that you like want to have. You just don't take the time to realize it. You don't like how people say you don't take time to smell the flowers or whatever. Like stop and smell the flowers. It's kind of the same thing of like sometimes we're so on the go, and I would say like I do that sometimes, and
I'll do that too.
I realize that I actually am good. Like we're okay.
Yeah, I used to dream of a life like I have now.
Right.
Like I used to. It's so life is so long. Everyone has different backgrounds and stuff like that. We don't. Maybe one day we'll get into like, I don't know, like the past. Do you want to do an episode on like early life or something? I feel like that would be cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I used to dream about like, even now, like we're getting ready to move to New York and all that. Like I used to literally dream about even just going to New York. And now the fact that we're talking about finding an apartment, that's like,
we're gonna live there.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
From where I come from, it's like, but you have to be persistent. You have to really work on the things that you want to, obviously achieve, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got to close it out because it's starting to get warm in here. The sun is on this side now.
The sun finally got there.
And I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. And the sirens just won't stop. I mean, hopefully, I kind of feel bad when I complain about sirens.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
I feel bad complaining about sirens because clearly, like, something is going on.
Yeah, and it stops right here in front of the house.
Yeah.
We hope everyone is okay in Seattle, all right?
Take care of yourselves, everybody listening, and take care of your people. Check in with them, call a friend up, hang out. Also, as we said, a good life is what you make it, so go out there and make it.
Exactly.
Wait, didn't I already say that?
I don't know, but it's a good saying. And also, just after this episode, call somebody that you haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah, and talk to them about what a good life means.
Just
talk to them about this podcast.
Oh, actually, I just wanted to tell people to just call somebody and say, hey, how you been?
Oh, or that too.
Like, hey, I know I haven't talked to you in a year, but yeah, what's a good life? Okay, bye guys.
All right,
we're out of here. Shout out to your dog, and we love you and your dog and everyone else.
Yep. See you guys later. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.